Hello, Facebook. This is something that I feel dear and near to me. Just want to talk about a survivor of mental illness, someone that living it right now, overcame it due to some circumstances in their lives that they went through as a young child, young teenager. And a member of my church is going to come and join me as we talk about mental illness and overcoming mental illness and the stages and the challenges. So we're going to bring forth right now Carmen Hood, been a member of Abundant Life 12 years and came to a place where she said she felt at home and felt accepted and welcome. So I'm bringing back just for a few minutes Carmen to talk about her struggles, her survivor, her overcoming medication and things she's gone through. We'll only be before y'all a few minutes, but this is right in line of what we've been talking about. So Carmen's going to come and talk with us a few minutes about things she's gone through with mental illness and traumatic things that's happened in her life as a young lady growing up. So come on, Carmen, let's talk. And I just want to welcome you. And first of all, I'm so proud of you and how God has really blessed you and some things that you recently shared with the congregation. And I just want you to share with our Facebook audience and our Facebook friends some things that you've gone through and just how God has blessed you and your steps. Just be transparent about the things you've experienced.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, Facebook and social media. As Pastor said, I'm Carmen Hood. As a child at the age of 15, or backdrop, growing up with mental illness was something that I dealt with. My mother was someone who first was a mom, first was a sister, a daughter, and she was also military. So growing up with that mental illness that came along with that was a challenge. I can remember as a child at 6, 7 years old, my mother always trying to commit suicide. And after time went on, we thought it went away. Unfortunately, it didn't go away. Fast forward to me being 15 years old. At that time, the mental illness and the depression overtook my mother. So before then, she was a fighter. She was always chin up, chest out, and she moved forward and she was a fighter. But for some reason, this moment in time was overwhelming to her that she could not handle it. And she felt like the best thing for her to do was commit suicide. I know when people say suicide, the first thing a lot of people think of is somebody taking pills and overdosing on medication.
Right.
Unfortunately, my situation, my mother committed suicide by shooting herself in the mouth with a pistol. And I was there when that situation occurred. My grandmother was there as well, but I was there as well when that situation occurred. That is something that a 15-year-old child should never see in life. I understand that, as children, once we become adults, we're supposed to bury our parents and things of that nature. But at 15 years old, you're in a whirlwind. You don't know what to do, what's going on, why mom did what she did. And still to this day, I still don't know. It's been 33 years. Actually, this past September was 33 years that my mother has been passed away. So it was a struggle. It was a challenge. I was still in high school, attempting to continue on because the thing that happened with me, I was in shock. I didn't accept or realize that my mother was gone because I went to school that very same day after everything happened. After we came back from the hospital, I went to school that very same day.
Wow.
So I was expecting once I got home from school, my mother to be there. And it still didn't click. It still didn't click. What happened, and I believe I had grieved, my process kind of went out of sync. When everything was about to transpire that weekend, I can remember on that Friday, I was ironing my clothes for school. And I was just ironing and crying. And I was calling out and crying out to the people that were there that I thought loved my mother, and asking them, please help her because something's not right. Well, of course, I got blowed off as the fact that, oh, you're too young, you don't understand what's going on. But I was the child that was growing up in this household that mental illness was in.
Yes.
So I saw it.
Yes.
I knew it. I knew something wasn't right. But I was trying to get help for my mother, but nobody decided to help me help her. And like I said, unfortunately, she passed away by committed suicide. Going to school, I just kind of was the typical teenager. But people would ask me and people would tell me that they heard about it and things like that. So it was hard for me to express what happened. It was hard for me to kind of understand what went on. At that age, you just can't process that. It's hard to process. So fast forward to my adult life. A lot of people don't understand that those kind of things spill over into your adult life and how you socialize with other people and how you deal with certain problems and issues that come up in life. I suffered from what's called post-traumatic stress disorder. I know a lot of people say, oh, that's a military thing. Nobody in normal or civilians get that. If you deal or see some type of traumatic issue in your life, yes, that is still post-traumatic stress disorder. You don't have to be military to have it. You know, once I got older, I started researching and finding out, okay, kid, what's wrong with you? So it's not right. You know, you're real standoffish from people. You don't socialize. It's hey and bye with you. So what's going on? You know, and at that time, I didn't have insurance or have the money because I was still young. And I had to find these information and find these things out for myself. So, you know, I realized that I was very distant. I realized that I had anxiety, and I would go into depression modes, and I would be very short with people. And I didn't like that person. I didn't like that person. So once I did get older and was able to obtain the insurance, I sought help.
Good for you.
Once I sought help, I was on a lot of medication. Apparently, it was more in depth than I thought it was. So I was taking about 67 different type of medications.
Wow.
I was taking medications to wake up. I was taking medications to go to sleep. I was taking medications to stay even keel. I was taking medications just to not kill anybody, basically, because I just the mental state that I had going on, which I didn't know, was very extreme, and it was very out there because I hadn't dealt with my mother's death. So for me, times of the year, this time of the year it used to be difficult. I have to say that it used to be difficult. My mother passed away in September. October is her birthday. Actually, tomorrow is her birthday. Then you have the holidays, November, December.
I hear you.
So at those times, those were wonderful times in my life up until the passing of my mother.
Correct.
So it would be very difficult for me at a time at the end of the year to deal with those. So I would find myself withdrawn. I would find myself crying a lot. I would find myself calling out from work. I would isolate myself because I didn't want anybody to ask me 1,000,001 questions about why are you like this, what's going on, and what have you. So I just kind of separated myself from people. But once I did get diagnosed, I was diagnosed with the PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, depression, OCD. I was even with that, I was diagnosed with that as well. And with the anxiety, it would be to the point where I couldn't deal with crowds.
Okay.
And it would make me always look for the exit door. So during this time, I was actually going here. And I'm sure a lot of people didn't pay attention or didn't notice, maybe one or two, especially you. I was actually coming in floating because I was on the medication.
That's right.
And I wasn't, and I could tell I wasn't myself. And a couple of people say, "Yeah, you okay?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." I was real, just floating along. And I could tell that within myself. I could feel that I was just floating along. I wasn't engaging. I wasn't, who I normally am. And I went to the doctor and I told him, I said, well, what really changed it was my children. I have 3 wonderful children. And what changed that was my children, when they were telling me, "Mama, you not you." I was finding myself, because they were watching me, and I was finding myself up doing things like cooking. And I was on the medication and didn't know it. So I'm up doing dangerous things and didn't know it. And, I was like, okay, let me get this adjusted or see what we can do. And I'm glad to say that I'm no longer on the medications. Yes, I had suicidal thoughts growing up because I felt like I needed to be with my mother. That's how close we were. And so I felt like, okay, I wanted to go where she was. So, at that time, I was young. I didn't have access to a gun. I was a little scared of stuff like that because my mama would really get on me, so, but I just, I didn't go through with it because God blessed me with a daughter when I was in high school, so it's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes when you lose someone that close to you, because you don't have any guidance, you don't have any direction. And I like to say, and I tell my daughter all the time, you saved me. Because if she was not produced, I don't think I would be sitting here today. Because I was always, I was a teenage alcoholic. I was going to school drunk. I was drinking during school. And I was drinking when I got home. So I was a teenage alcoholic. And I was trying to kill myself. And when I found out that I was pregnant with her, all of that had to cease. And once it did, and I had somebody to give that love back that I had so much inside of me, then I knew, I was like, okay, I got to keep pushing forward. It's not for me, it's for her. And that's what I did. But like I said, in my older years, that when I had to take the medication, that was about maybe, about 10 years ago. And when my kids said to me, "Mommy, you're not you," that's what made the difference. And I knew I had to be there for them. And once I got things readjusted and I talked to the therapist, I said, "Look, I just need to just kind of, let's reverse, because I don't want to be on this medication and not be a part of this world." So I like being a part of the world and like being in the world, but mostly I want to be here for my children. And so we did a reevaluation and a reassessment.
Yes.
And we, got me off of the medications. And my biggest thing is I kept coming to church.
That's good.
I kept coming to church, even though though I was heavily medicated.
You did.
I was heavily medicated, but the spirit man in me kept pushing me to those doors.
Yes, that's true.
And that's where I got the understanding that you needed this to get over that. And each year, I've gotten better.
Much better.
I've gotten much better every year. I don't have the moments of crying and upset like that because I just know that she's in a better place. And I know that God has me. And the prayers that she did pray still manifest for me today.
Amen. Listen, so much stuff that Carmen have said today, but this is a face with mental illness. And I just wanted her to talk a few minutes. She talked about at 15 years old, her mother committed suicide. She went on with her life, was a good student, became a teenage alcoholic, and became to the point where she had a daughter, beautiful daughter girl, a baby girl. And this is a face with what mental illness really looked like because of a trauma that happened in Carmen's life, post-traumatic stress disorder, where she's now telling you that there's help. She sought professional help. She came to our church about 12 years ago, almost 13 years ago, and have been faithful to the church, to the ministry, to helping, to involving, to laughing, to being a productive student, working on your master's degree at this time, full-time job, business entrepreneur, writing books, and just getting to the good place in her life, engaged and just very productive in what she does because she sought the help. Key thing she said, she kept coming to church. She kept being engaging. She kept fellowshipping. She didn't isolate. She may have come depressed and she didn't commit suicide. So I just want to take a few minutes to put a face with mental illness and what God can do through counseling and through medication. She said she was on 6 different medications to being on no medication at this time. And she's even out. She's balanced. She's very involved in my life as a daughter. Glad to say, in ministry. And so listen, there is brighter days ahead on the other side of your mental illness. Get a mental health checkup. Carmen is a witness that the days do get better and that you have people that will love you unconditionally even when you're suffering with your mental illness. So thank you all for being a part of just talking to Carmen today. I like this. I think we'll do it again. Just talking to somebody that I know and have known for about 13 years. And I'm proud to see what God has done in your life. And I smile to say, that's my daughter. And look what the Lord has done. So y'all, listen, there is help out here, but you got to seek the help.
And I just want to say, take the mental mask off. Seek the help that you need.
Yes.
It's nothing wrong with going to get therapy.
Right.
It's nothing wrong to go to talk to someone. Sometimes you can't talk to family members because they don't understand. So it's okay to talk to somebody that's neutral. Talk to somebody that's neutral that doesn't have what we call a dog in the fight. Talk to somebody that's neutral so that way you can actually get a clear understanding of what's really going on and get you some help to help you move on and find those brighter days.
Great. Well, listen, right here on our campus, we talking just openly about mental health, mental illness, treatment, trauma in our lives. But we know that we can cast all our cares upon the Lord, upon him, for he cares for us. But he does give us people for our lives. Y'all have a good Sunday. I just want to share with you that this is the day that the Lord has made. And we're rejoicing and being glad in it. We got more for us than we do against us. So look, enjoy your Sunday. Watch some football. Enjoy life to the fullest. He came that you might have life and have it more abundantly. See y'all next Sunday right here at the 10 a.m. hour from our campus. Thank y'all. God bless you.